Yeah, this big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. What's good with y'all, man? Y'all already know what time it is. You know what I mean? Nets fans is the best fans. And I gotta say I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna start the show giving a special thank you to the members of the page. Maria Sigmore, Jellio, Marcus, Nets DNA, Beeman Boy, Joey BK, Cooney G Philippe, GIHF underscore Carter, Brooklyn LM, Mr. Seahorse, J Noel 24, Javon Ship, Big Homie Stay Solid, Lee 4788, Sam Edelman 5187, Alicel 3, G Wiz 911, and Player 1. Shout out to all y'all, and I'm saying that's the members of the page. And to keep it real with you, I ain't see this game, so I'm finna throw the link in the chat early. I want to, you know what I mean, talk to the fans that actually seen the game. I seen the box scores. I seen my guy, Nolan Traorè had 9 and 9. You already know that's my new favorite player. Yo, bro, 9 assists, 3 turnovers. I'm taking that all day in America, bro. I'm taking that all day in America, bro. You trying to tell me Nolan Traorè is our championship point guard? I don't think we need to find nobody to start over him. I think the relationship between him and Jordy Fernandez is a good one. Um, at the end of the day, I'm gonna wait for the fans to pull up and we could talk about the game on a panel. But you see the title of the show. Should Egor sit for the rest of the season? Yes. Sit Egor for the rest of the season. Take his plantar fasciitis seriously and continue to do right by him. Shout out to Brooklyn Go Crazy CJ. Like I said, I'm gonna throw the link in the chat early, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't watched the game. I was doing the podcast, started pot. Shout out to This is JTP and P. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I did see the box score. I was watching the box scores. I seen the beginning of the game, but my phone needed to charge, so I ain't get a chance to see the second half. But I seen Nolan running for office, man. CJ, talk to me, man. Nolan Traorè had 9 assists and 9 points, man. You watched the game?
Man, really ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I only watched like a little bit, man. I went to go play basketball my damn self, man. I only watched a little
Okay,
bit,
it's
man.
over. All
Yeah, man, I
right.
was for myself, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
but I
makes
see he
sense.
had 9 points. And by the way, John, I just want to say this right now. I see we got the second odds right now, which right now would be drafting six right now. So I just want to keep that out there because we got the second odds right now. So looking
Next
very
week is
good.
big for that, wherever that pick will land. So we'll see what happens next week, but definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think the Pacers gonna win another game either. So I mean, I think he's gonna be flip flop. Brooklyn go back to three. And Pacers go back to two, it's gonna be flip flop. Because I don't think the Pacers win another game. When I look at their schedule, they got a hard ass schedule exactly with us. So hey John, you watched the game?
Yeah, I did. I think Nolan had a good bounce back game. He had, I think, 9 assists. He made a lot of turnovers previous games, so it's good to see like just him better game plan himself against the opposing team he had to face again. Noah Kalani, he had 17 points. I guess you could say it's a bit of a bounce back game, but still, he looks very outmatched against Bam and just not seeing enough defensively, offensively, not showing enough interior play. So yeah, just kind of disappointed. Tonight just kind of felt like the MPJ show. Like we all know he can make threes. We know he can rebound. It's like, why are we playing him in fourth quarters? Like we're down like 15, 18 points. Like, can we get the young guys more minutes? Can we see what they can do? It's like, if MPJ is just stat padding to get that max extension this offseason, I don't think the Nets should go higher than 2 years, respectfully. Like, he still has 40 mil next year, a 2 year extension, maybe I'm open to, but anything 3 or 4, it's kind of like we don't know if MPJ, how long he'll be in the NBA or what his mindset is. It's like we're breaking his body down playing him all these minutes. I just don't understand the strategy. And then with Claxton too, like Claxton has a thumb, a pinky injury. He clearly is not playing like a good defensive center, and it's like we're just playing vets to stab pads, and the rookies are just playing backstage characters. But Nolan has shown a lot of growth this second half of the season for sure. Danny Wolf had a very off night for him. He's been really good lately, but when you fluctuate your role in the court at 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, you're gonna have some goose egg games like this. But yeah, Nolan's definitely grown the most, and the Egor thing, it sucks. It really sucks that Egor potentially can't finish the season out because he had a good first half of the season, broke some little records here or there, and we thought the second half could work on playmaking, dribbling the ball more, interior play. He did have the 9 assists one game, but if this plantar fasciitis thing does require a procedure or some surgery, definitely feel disheartened for the kid because he's already slow as is. So if he has to do some surgery, you hope this doesn't make him regress even more going to a big year where he has to show he could dribble, be an interior threat, get stronger. If Egor regresses to still doing 3-point stuff, but none of his other games get better, this plantar fasciitis injury could haunt the Nets because let's go back a little bit. Remember when he played during Summer League and he said, I'm dealing with plantar fasciitis. It happened in Summer League. Sean Marks said this happened in the draft process. Egor hurt himself. So we drafted him, playing during Summer League, which we probably shouldn't have. That probably would actually allow him to heal up and be ready for maybe the start of the season. But if this has been a struggle the whole season, it becomes a surgical issue. Your mind goes back to, was really drafting Egor over Common the smart move long term? Because we all thought Egor would be the point guard. But again, to what Breeze has been saying about Nolan, what I've seen from Nolan has been standing out as a de facto one, and Egor seemed joyful and happy to give that rollover. But Egor being a 2 right now with a limited offensive skill set and a limited defensive skill set, if he doesn't move to the 3 and we keep MPJ, keeping him as a 2, like let's say you do get a Darren Pierce in this draft, moving Egor to the bench as a 6-man would be a huge drop-off from expectation. So I really do hope Egor, if he has a surgery, comes back strong next year. But again, when young players go through surgeries with anything with their foot, it could be really decent or really bad quick if he regresses. So I'm worried for Egor in this instance because he has talent. But if he can't work in the other parts of his game and he's regulated to the 2 position, this might hurt Egor's trajectory with us. So this draft becomes even more serious for us because we don't even know if drafting Egor as a lottery pick was a smart move because the best guy is the guy you drafted with the Midkel Hall pick with the Bucks pick. So yeah, Nolan's developing. Wolves had some moments, but Egor, I just wish him the best. But clearly next summer is big. Drake Powell's had some good G League performances, but we want to see him play in the pros and really show the confidence matches the skill set, athletic ability. And Saraf, this guy has so many forgettable performances. And tonight, somebody on his Spaces page, I think he was trolling, said Saraf had the best performance. A minus 20, 6 points, 2 assists. Saraf has not had any highlights this year where you could go, wow, Saraf is showing something. Saraf hasn't changed. No mid-range, no 3, no development. It's like, we're not seeing anything from Saraf.
Hold on. First off, I want to thank CJ, everything, Brooklyn Nets, John, for joining the panel. We also got Brooklyn LM and Leaf on the panel. So I want to say this, but I don't want to be long with it. I want to go to John. Then I want to go back to John. Then I want to go to Brooklyn LM.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Nolan Traorè, they played him 25 minutes intentionally, but as far as winning in last year's draft, we won with Nolan Traorè. I think you could put confidence in that he's a player that's going to develop. If he could be a rookie and be this consistent with getting 9 assists, and just like the strides of player development, you could see that the G League Long Island Nets to the Brooklyn Nets is something that works, and we not wrong for letting Egor sit out for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? Let him sit out for the rest of the year, regardless of what we think about him, to give him 100% health. You let him play above 50 games. That's good. You did right by him. As a rookie, he was known with the likes of Kneppel. He was up there with the 3-pointer. He broke a record as a rookie, like 33 3-pointers in a row, something like that. I feel like he did what he was supposed to. But we know that we don't have to build around him as the franchise guy. That's more what we're going into the 2026 draft with. And that's what I want fans to be honest about. We found our point guard in Nolan Traorè. Egor is not the franchise guy, and we focus on the franchise guy in 2026. But go ahead, John, and then you go.
Listen, it's very valid point. I would say this way. I think we all know Nolan's no franchise guy, but as a building block, as a point guard, whether it's a starter or 6-man, he is making a case to be a consistent player for us. That is definitely noted. For Egor, we still don't know what his role or position is, and hopefully this summer, if there is a procedure, it doesn't affect his development because we want him to take steps forwards, not backwards. And then Powell, obviously confidence. Wolf, just guys see him have a role too at the same time. So there's things to figure out with the rookies this summer. I would say physicality-wise, they all got to take that next step on the physical end. I think all of them should spend the summer in the gym a lot, getting strong, and coming back next season, really showing us they can be interior threats because this 3-point style that Jordy does, we all admit it, it sucks. It's atrocious. There's no real, balance on offense or defense. And for Jordan to keep running this MPJ, Claxton, Noah Clowney trio, the results aren't there. These guys aren't getting better. MPJ was having a regressive second half until I think this might be his best game of the second half right now. And Clowney and Claxton together, they had some hype 2 years ago, but defensively, neither one of them are holding down the front court. And Bam just took both of them on tonight with Delaware. So if we're going to go after any big this summer, we talked about it, Breeze. If we draft Cam Boozer, you go out there and get Bam Adebayo, the Bruiser Bros. I am manifesting that right now. You want to keep MPJ just 3, okay, but if we replace Clowney and Claxton with Bam and Boozer, we are taking steps next year. I don't know if that's
Hold
top
on, slow it
playoff
down. Should I
playing.
pass it to
That could be
Brooklyn
something we
11?
could do.
Hold on.
Just send on my note. We're good at the tank. Got to make some moves, but hopefully we get a franchise guy, and finally the Brooklyn Nets have something we can work with. And I'll pass the ball off to LM.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? I mean, the key thing to me that I was looking at tonight, 18 3-pointers from MPJ, man. 18 3-pointers. Like, I mean, it's nasty work to see. You got him taking 24 shots. I mean, we could talk about the assertiveness, which is a fair point, but like Nolan with 9 shots. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Mann, it is what it is, but Wolf in 14 minutes, 2 shots. Like, I'm just saying it's not enough of a balance of getting these guys their opportunities. I've been an advocate of sitting out MPJ, Claxton, and just letting Clowney and letting these young guys play towards the end of the season. I mean, it's pretty much March. April 12th is our last game. I really don't know what's the point in having these guys play. But I am a heavy advocate of trying to see what this offense looks like outside of MPJ. I think that needs to be something that Jordy needs to explore. Other than that, I mean, it's not really much to talk about. I think this was a pretty decent game, but at the end of the day, Miami still had the better team. But I do think in general, I think this month or this upcoming games coming up, maybe we'll see some of some MPJ being sat if that's the case as it heads towards the latter half of March. But yeah, this MPJ centered offense, this is pretty much what it's gonna get you. You're not gonna see much improvement from, even though people may hate him, but give these minutes to Sarab. Don't know why Powell is in the G League. I mean, yes, you talk about assertiveness, but realistically, these guys should be getting the second half minutes. There's nothing to be fighting for. There's no playing spot we're gonna get. We're not trying to get a championship. Let these young guys go out and play. Let them get the majority of the minutes. Figure out who's gonna be in your lineup, or figure out what you got with these guys. There's no
hold
reason.
on. So Brooklyn LM, how many minutes you want to see Wolf get?
30 minutes. Give him 30. Give Nolan 30. Give Drake 30.
Minutes tonight. He could have got
Yeah, like sit Claxton. Dude got a pinky injury. Even saying he had a pinky injury, sit him out for the season. There's literally nothing to be fighting for. Like you see these other tanking teams. They got their players out for the season. They know what the deal is. We the only stupid organization trying to do this ethical crap. Let the rookies play. We drafted 5 rookies. That's who we want to see. We want to see some development in that area. I want to see Wolf develop more towards the first half. Claxton ain't no player where Wolf can't start because Claxton there. No, sit Claxton ass down for the half of the season and let Wolf get those 30 minutes. Let him figure out, is these the centers I gotta play against? I bet. Let me get a wherewithal of what I gotta do for next season. Like, let him go out and explore his offense. Let him try to get a run at the offense. Play Saraf. Play Nolan and Saraf in the backcourt. See how that look. Or play Nolan and Drake in the backcourt and see how that looked due to
Nolan
Egor
Drake,
sitting
yes.
out.
Yo, Brooklyn
See how
LM.
Nolan and Drake play together.
Yo, Brooklyn LM. I'm listening to you. I'm watching the highlights at the same time, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Ben Saraf got some highlights. You know what I mean? Like he
It's
sneaking to
points,
the
please come
basket.
on.
No, yeah, like I seen him snake to the basket, and like he doing his shit. He had a spin move. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, I've
Listen,
seen
I'm
that in
not
summer
saying.
league. We saw that in summer
Listen,
league.
I'm not. I'm
Breeze.
not. Listen, Seraph is a net. I'm not going to sit here and if he comes back better next year, kudos to the guy. But how we gonna know if he don't play? You giving all these guys, MPJ and Claxton, all these minutes. Let the young guys go out there. Let them explore their offense. See how it looks. Even if Yegor, is sitting out for the season, if he got the injury, cool. That should give Seraph even more minutes to try to explore his game and figure out where he gonna be at. Like, just let the young guys play. Danny Wolf should not be getting 14 minutes.
They
Like,
played
it's
Saraf
just
more
dumb to me.
minutes than Wolf tonight. Like this is atrocious. Like this is a joke.
The
Like come on.
the whole second half of this season ending, starting five should primarily be the rookies. If you're
All
gonna have
right,
Yes.
so
Nolan,
hold
put
on. Let's
Nolan at one, put
yeah,
Drake at the two. If
yeah,
I think MPJ sits down. Shoot, try Manat at the three. He looks pretty good. See what you
Okay.
yeah,
got with him. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? At the
Now,
four, if you want to put
yeah,
Clowney there, Clowney's still part of the young core. He's still 21. He's let him figure it out, and then put
yeah,
Wolf at the five and call it a
yeah.
day. Like
All right,
sit
so
MPJ
hold on.
ass down, man.
All right, so hold on. So we saying Wolf at the hold on. We saying Wolf at the 5, Noah Clowney at the 4, Mike Not at the 3, Ben Saraf at the 2, Nolan at the 1.
Yep,
I'll
it's
put Drake at the
disgusting,
two,
but
but if you
take it
if
to
if
it.
you want to put Seraph there, cool. But all this is if Yego's out for the season, if y'all
Yo,
gonna
y'all
say he
heard
out
Drake
for the
Powell
season,
had 21 in the G League?
He can do it in the
yeah.
pros. This is just confidence. It's not skill set. Like, but they're backtracking those minutes and points
That's
he's
on
doing.
exactly.
Like, come
It's
on.
really just the mindset thing. He has the tools.
Yeah.
His skill set is not the problem. It's the fact that you're putting him out there on the court and you're giving him 19 minutes, 20 minutes. You gotta at some point you gotta put a battery in his back. Yes, it's all a part of him being the assertive one. I'm not saying he's wrong in that, but play the kid 30 minutes. Give the kid 30
Facts.
minutes. See how he is at the two guard spot. Heck, even if with Yegor out too, I don't know how long they're gonna sit him, but if he is out for the season, yeah, explore what he looks like at the two guard. Have him and Nolan Traorè be a backcourt for the half of the season. See how they play. Let them get their chemistry right with Wolf. Like this MPJ offense, I don't know what it is. They're trying to accumulate wins or be
Nasty.
competitive in March. And next month is literally this April 12th is our last game. Like
Exactly.
we should just be seeing these guys go out there, building chemistry, learning each other, learning where they are on the court, learning okay, this is how Jake Powell spots where he's comfortable with. Okay, this is how Nolan likes spots that he's comfortable with. This is how Danny Wolf let Wolf run the offense for a freaking game. Like I would like to
Exactly.
see that. He a point center. Let him run the
He
offense. Let him see how he plays with the guys.
he
Like
did that in the Cavs game, LM, and that's when he's playing next to Grant Nelson. What happened to Grant Nelson? Had a good game, but I haven't seen an eye wink of the guy yet. Like, come on, like
yeah,
he
like
should be
Grant
playing these
Nelson,
games.
Obaji, Manat, Wolf, Date, Nolan, Drake. These guys should be getting burned. Like they're young guys. They're part of the young core. These guys are barely 25 years old, not even close. Go out there and see what you got. Manat looks like a really good piece. Go out there and see what you got with Manat. Bring Drake Powell back. He does not belong in the G League. You see what
Facts.
he's doing. Bring him back. Build his confidence up. Like it just makes no sense. You're gonna end up losing these games to these better teams regardless. Like
You heard
against
what Powell said
Detroit,
in the G League, LM? He said, I want a coach that believes in me. I feel bad with a guy who has a skill set like his to say he needs a coach to believe him. Like, I don't know what him and Jordan, what the beef is, but let's put the heads together and figure something out here because he has skill set. This is insane that he's now having his best games in the G League when he can have them right now. And Jordy said, "Oh, there's minutes that need to be divided, and he needs to play those minutes right here on the court. He could play these minutes. You tell me, man has to play more minutes than him. Starting man over Powell played a factor in his confidence going down the tubes. I'm telling you, the evidence is right there. Because Jordy said
Man
he
being
said,
in the lineup because of the aquarium and he's a
oh,
vet. If he should
oh
be
my
having the wherewithal of the awareness to be like, yo, I'm at where I'm at right now. I want to
God.
see the young guys get minutes. Let them get the experience of being in the NBA. Like that should be what, as a vet, the
They should have
awareness
kept that
should
shit on
be
the
of.
low, man. They should have never let that come out in the public.
The
They was talking
aquarium.
about that. The color commentators were saying that, but really, I don't look at it as a sign of strength. You know, like you're bonding because of what? Like fishes are swimming.
That's crazy.
I don't understand. So what do
Like we
y'all
taking a
like?
science
What's the
camp next?
connection
Come
to the
on.
NBA and being competitive? I don't get that part of it. So that's what I'm
No.
saying. Like I don't like it.
Breeze, you can't see MPJ taking 18 3-pointers and you like this is a good offense.
It's
Like
not.
it's nasty
Nah,
work.
nah, yeah, nah. To your point, I think Nolan Traorè should have got 18 shots.
Or
Facts.
You
something.
gotta give him more shots than 9 shots. I don't think that Nick Claxton should get more shots than Nolan Traorè. I think Nolan Traorè should get a bucket of shots. Like, kind of make him the number 2 option. Like, and do it immediately. You know, do it for the end of the season. Because my thing is, if you draft somebody like AJ DeBonsha, you want to see how Nolan Traorè is a point, especially of what he said. CJ already had me pull up the content showing that he said Nolan Traorè is his favorite point guard, best point guard he ever played with. You take that into consideration. So let's give the green light to Nolan Traorè. Kind of the same thing I was saying about Cam Thomas. I'm saying about Nolan Traorè. Like, give him the green light. He's a rookie. You want the fans to buy into what's going on. You buy into Nolan Traorè running the office to him because of Egor playing their fancy itis. Because the thing was, it was about them in the backcourt together. But since, in my opinion, they should sit him. Because when we did have the episode when we looked at Plant of Fancy Ice, they said how long does it take to heal 100%? It said like 3 months. It said like something
Man.
like from 45 days or more. So that's like a month and a half or more. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like give him that time. Cade Cunningham is somebody that was injured. There's a lot of big stars that's in the top 10 that have been injured their first year or first 2 years, and they've came back and had incredible careers. And I'm saying do the same thing for Egor. We've sat KD out for a year. We've attended and been attentive to injuries the franchise, the whole history of the franchise. So don't stop with Egor. Continue to pour
The
into
only
him.
question is where is he gonna where he's gonna fit? Like realistically,
Two.
depending if you I mean
Yeah, I don't know
I
about
ain't
the
gonna
two,
lie. I don't
please.
know about I'm not saying you're wrong. Maybe next year they explore Nolan Yeager backcourt. But my thing is, if the Nets miraculously get an AJ DeBonster, Caleb Wilson, or a Boozer, you do have to see where Yeager fits in that lineup. To me,
Right.
if you get AJ DeBonster, he can play the 2 or he could play the 3. Like I feel like that would be if you want to explore him at the 2 spot, I feel like that's pretty valid. Unless you want to put Jaeger at the 3, the Monster at the 2, Nolan at the 1, and then I guess MPJ at the 4. I would rather not
Oh
see
no, man,
Claxton
that
at
would
the
be
5,
nasty.
but I mean, MPJ at the 4 is nasty, but at the same time, it's like they not gonna sit him.
No,
Like
that's true. That's true.
it is
You
what it
just gotta
is. So
hope
you
Yegor doesn't need surgery, like Breezy said, 3 months rest. Like I hope it's just rest. If it's a procedure, we know Yegor is slow-footed as is. If he needs a procedure, he might be even slower than what he is right now. That means his game won't improve, and he'll just be a three-point shooter. But it's like if that's what our lottery pick turns into, you gotta hope you get a generational talent because you want Yegor to not lose the confidence to score, but you also want him to lose the ability to work on other facets of his game. So I hope this is just rest and not that he has to get some procedure because he's already slow-footed as is, which could be an issue. But I agree, like we have to figure out how these young pieces can fit consistently on this team. And he's actually brought up the Cam stuff. I get Jordy defended. He said everyone on this team right now is going to help us get to where we want to go to. Really? We don't even have a roster right now. Besides some of the young guys we drafted, and this MPJ Claxton Clowney trio stuff, it ain't cutting the mustard. These guys aren't getting better. They had some promise in the beginning as a front court, but fast forward 4 months later, feels like every month this front court is getting worse, worse, and worse. Like, we need a legitimate, a power forward, a center, and whether MPJ's here or not, if we get the boss, like Alan says, you could play the boss at the 3, Egor, you could keep Egor at the 2 because that actually is a cheat code, and then Nolan at the 1. I'm totally fine for that. But if we get Pearson, Egor might have to move to the bench, which to me would kind of negate the whole reason to draft him in the first place, which could be an issue.
I mean, if Peterson on the board, you take him. But
Right.
realistically, I mean, yeah, that might have to be the option. That might have to be the case. I necessarily, as much I like Yegor, but I mean, you're talking about a generational talent, a guy that can arguably be the face of your franchise in Darren Peterson. You would want to explore that with Nolan in the backcourt. I mean, maybe I mean, they're not going to sit MPJ, so MPJ might be the 3. They might keep Clowney at the 4 if that happens, and then I don't want Claxton at the 5, but if he's coming into it next season, that might be our starting lineup for next year. So I mean, you got to consider all options here. That's why I would possibly prefer a wing. More so just to, I feel like we can adjust and get in at the boss to Boozer or Caleb Wilson. But I mean, I just, for me, it's just the fact of the matter is I just want the rookies to play. Like, just go out there, let them play. There's nothing to fight for. There's no playing spot to fight for. There's no championship we're winning this year. Sit MPJ down, sit Claxton down. Let Claxton heal his thumb or whatever the heck the case may be. Let MPJ sit down and let him heal whatever injury he said he was going through. Like I just don't understand why risk him playing through supposed injury, but let the young guys go out there and play. That's what we want to see. We want to see growth in the young guys, and yeah, I just think realistically, especially coming up with the tanking teams we're going to be facing in Sacramento, Indiana, Washington, like we're gonna have to solidify our spot. It's a fight between I think we're second worst team in the league right now.
Yeah, we the second right now.
Right now.
We're second.
Tonight.
Yeah, we're tied. So I mean, we're tied pretty much. It's probably gonna be a back and forth
Yeah,
for
we tied
Indiana.
tonight.
Sacramento, we can catch up to Sacramento. We're the worst team in the NBA. So I just think it's a priority. It should be a priority. The front office should be sending the word, like, yo, Jordy, sit these guys down. Like, that's just how I see it. But
Jordy
we'll
has a
see.
huge ego, man. Like, what he said tonight, saying he believes everyone in this roster is going to help us get to where we want to get to, it's a load of crap. Half this team doesn't fit the mold. Besides some of the young guys we have, like these vets, I don't see them as being difference makers like Jordy wants to proclaim them as. Like, this Terrence Mann stuff is atrocious. Does he owe Terrence Mann money? That's what we really should be asking right now.
Yeah, that's wild. Hold on, we're gonna actually hear what they say and then recap it. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is actually posted by John. We're gonna listen to it, we're gonna all recap it. This is Fernandez. It's a low, so I'll read it. It said Jordy Fernandez told me there's no timetable for Jaeger the men's return, talking to Eric Slater. Said he struggled with his playing thought for NCAA. The soreness has increased lately. We're being cautious and trying to find the best way for him moving forward. Again, I reiterate, Jaeger already played 50-something games. We shouldn't expect much more from Jaeger. He gave us a good sample size of what he is and what he does and how he contributes to the team, and that's without the offense. And there's a lot of fans saying that he's going to contribute more when we add the PNR inside our offense. Somebody got echo. I don't know what it is. But what I will say is that I've seen enough to see from Jaeger that he's a great role player, but we don't necessarily need him going into the 2026 draft to be our franchise player. We got a chance to do that again in 2026. And I like Nolan. I like the Nets going for a point guard in, the 2025 draft and finding one in Nolan Traorè, which is the Knicks pick I've heard. Excuse me. And us having another opportunity to get a franchise guy. getting better odds. Everybody's saying we might get 6, but I really feel like we're gonna get top 3. I feel like the NBA could look at the Nets and say this is a part of what we do already. We always got 2 good teams in the city, 2 good teams or more. You got Orlando and Miami in Florida, or state, better said. In Texas, you got Houston, you got San Antonio, you got Dallas, California, you got the Warriors, you got the Lakers, you got the Clippers. And when you look at the history, these teams have won it in the same state. The Lakers won it, the Warriors have won it in recent memory. These people win in the same state. It's not an uncommon thing. So I said we're gonna have a good market to draft one of the better players. The NBA could trust the Nets. You can send the top player here. We ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna have a great career here.
I don't know about getting the worst record in the NBA though. Like that fifth best odds at 47% is scary, man. Like I don't want to take that risk. Like, and it's rare that the worst team gets the number 1 pick anyway. But
right, but
I'd
LM,
rather we stay at second, or
right.
third.
But LM, remember the Pacers pick is in the balance. This is special. Unlike most past drafts, how rarely has a team ever put their lottery pick on the line to get an all-caliber NBA center? So if the Clippers could take that pick, let's say at 5, and we have the worst record, automatically we get top 4. Or if we have the second worst record, get the 6th pick, and let's say the Clippers get that 6th pick, we move up in top 4 potentially if the Kings get the 5th pick afterwards.
But hold on,
there are scenarios where that
Sure.
can actually work out having a bottom 2 record.
But what I'm saying is, if y'all hold on, we got Scott on the phone, so we gotta go to Scott. But what I want to say is, when you look at the teams that's there, we are the obvious choice, bro. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but when you look at the history and who did what with those draft picks, those teams don't stand out to say, "Oh, we got to go to them over the Brooklyn Nets." Even when you want to talk about markets, and I know y'all talking about that, and that's fine because y'all know I could be biased talking about the Brooklyn Nets, right? I'm gonna find all of the good reasons, but at the end of the day, you can't pretend that we see a talent in Ben Mathurin get underplayed and undervalued, and now leave the Pacers and go to the Clippers and playing extremely well as I've seen recently. So it's like, yeah, they'll get the picks. They got a top 10 pick in you know what I'm saying, Obi Toppin. You know what I mean? They got Halliburton, I think is a lottery pick. Like they have Pascal Siakam. He wasn't a lottery pick, but the talent of him being a championship player. And I'm saying that to say they really that bad for missing one player. You know what I'm saying? They really, like, come on, man. I got all of this criticism and ridicule saying y'all gonna crack down on, you know what I mean, teams being competitive and you know what I mean, then tanking. Like Indiana Pacers is, without them saying it, I think they was talking about them. And respectfully, the Sacramento Kings, they had Fox. He was a top 10 pick. They didn't win with him. They got Keegan Murray the same time they had Fox. They was on the same team, and they did not win together. So they got good drafted picks, like a top 5 pick and a top 4 pick, and they could not get past the first round or the second round. Why would the NBA go to the Sacramento Kings knowing that? You feel what I'm saying? So I don't really feel like the Sacramento Kings is a threat to the Brooklyn Nets getting a better pick than us. Like, if it's up to us or the Kings to get the number 1 pick, it should go to the Brooklyn Nets because of what I said. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
wait, so Breeze, are you saying you talking about in terms of number 1?
Huh?
You talking about in turn, because to me, is we're top 3, I'm good. Like, but if it's a case where Indiana is 1, but like Brooklyn is 2, okay, I'll live with it. Screw it. All right, bet I'll take it. Yeah. Like, it's not necessarily. I don't know if we get the number 1 pick. I don't know if they'll reward us like that. But if we in the top 3, I'm Gucci. Like, it is what it is. If y'all want to get into Sacramento at 1. And then we're 3, okay. Like,
I'll be honest. I'll be good with top 4.
Yeah, honestly, at this point,
yep.
Top 4 is fine with me. If we're 4, that's Caleb Wilson. All right, bet. Call it a day. Let's go.
Oh, the way the draft is going, shoot, people that we think is in the top 3 fall back into the 4 and the 5 spot.
What? Not this
one. It happened last year.
That was
it could be a case.
Work out for nobody.
It happened last year.
lowest
what's the
Peterson
odds
could score
that
is 4.
Peterson? What is the odds that Peterson, depending
But
on how the
they
lottery
already-
goes, somebody
they already downplaying him now.
He's not going to drop more than 4. At the worst, he would drop.
That's what I said.
Peterson's not
4 or
going
5. I
But he's still in
said
the top
4.
4 though. But he's still in the top 4 though.
Yeah,
None of
I'm
the top 4
saying,
dropping.
but he should have been number 1. He
Why?
was
Because
number
he can
1.
shoot the ball better than anybody else.
So he might go 5th. The way you
No.
talking,
No, listen. If I think the 4th pick, I will choose him at the worst. I'm not going to choose Mikael Brown over Peterson. Come on.
I think realistically, it depending, like, to Scott's point, we thought that Dylan Harper, Cooper Flagg, and Ace Bailey was going to be top 3, and then that.
I mean, that's what everybody was saying.
I'm not saying it's not impossible.
It happened.
For Darren Peterson, the 4-4, it would mean that whatever team is top 3 or top 4, he's not rocking.
Or
he will have to be like bad in the interviews.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So it could happen, but
they already doing it. LM, they already saying he ain't playing. You know.
He ain't falling past 4, Scott.
They already doing it.
If you get him number 1, it's 50-50 because on one hand you can be getting one of the best guards in the NBA in a few years, or you might be getting a potential bust. You know, like it is a risk with Peterson. It's a risk for everybody, but
I'm really trying to sway y'all away from Peterson. Because it's just
LM, see?
Breeze, I understand where you're coming from, but he will be the best player on this team, regardless of everything.
What I'm saying is, to CJ's argument, why would I put Peterson over Caleb Wilson? Why would I do that? Why?
I think it's a ceiling. I think it's a ceiling.
Like, hold on. If you go by ceiling, you could look up Caleb ceiling. Because Caleb the best 2-way player in this draft.
Caleb might be the
Darren Peterson is a 2-way player too. It's just
no.
He can play defense. He
kind of.
No, he don't.
Caleb, LM, not like Caleb. He can play.
Not like I'm not saying. I'm not. They play 2 different positions, so I'm not comparing. I'm not saying Darren Peterson can guard 1 through 4. But for his size, for his position, he is a really good defender. Like he can guard the ones. He's not going to be a cone on defense, but
he can guard his position.
He can guard. Yes, he can guard his position. Yeah,
he can guard his position.
Y'all watch his games?
Yeah, I watched it.
You can be watching his games because
he's not. I'm not saying
he give no effort when he was playing to get kicks.
He didn't give no effort, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can.
He's a very good defender.
People come on my TikTok comparing this man to Kobe Bryant. This man had 5 bad games.
I will say this though: some people have Cam Boozer going 1 now because he's been solid the whole season, rebounding offensively. Like he's literally the bully ball player any team would want right now. So don't be surprised if Boozer does move Peterson to no lower than 3, because I think AJ is the first, if not second best in this draft. But Boozer, he's in top 2 for me right now. So
I think it depends on it depends on the team that's won. Who's to say if Indiana gets 1, they don't go? Who's to say if Indiana gets 1, they don't get Peterson?
Why
you know what I'm saying? Like
they have Halliburton though. That's the thing.
They probably would think of a Darren Peterson and Halliburton backcourt. That might be intriguing to them. We don't know. Or it could just be get the number 1 guy and move forward.
Get the best available.
Yep. Right. So to them, it might be Peterson number 1. We move on. If something happens where Halliburton gets injured, okay, we got Peterson as a backup.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, we move.
We good.
You gotta think about situations like that.
Yo, and so hold on. Just without the how you say projections of how good these players are gonna be, just with the power season that we got. Y'all really trying to tell me that Peterson is the number 1 pick over Boozer?
No. I don't feel. I feel like AJ and Boozer are over.
I'm not saying it depends on the team.
It's tough, Breeze, because who's to say Peterson not the best player in the few years? Like,
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about what we see in college.
Not that. I'm
It's
just talking about what
not.
we've
I'm
seen.
not saying in college he's the most consistent, but in terms of like overall player, I can see a GM. I can see where they would love Peterson over Boozer. I'm not saying you're. I think he's the most consistent. I think you're gonna get consistency out of Boozer each and every game. That's what I think you're gonna get somebody who's consistently 20 and 10. But
LM, if we got Cam Boozer, go get Bam Adebayo. Boozer and Bam in your front court, we are crushing some teams in the NBA. The Bruiser Bros. Make it happen, Sean Marks. If you want to update your front court, Bam and Boozer, come on. How are you going to
but the
stop that
thing
front
the
court
the thing
in the Eastern
the
Conference?
thing is really like to me it's like the same thing where, and I'm not saying people are wrong in assessing it, but it was the same thing with Ant when he was coming into the league. Like there was questioning his love for the game. Is he really gonna be in love with basketball? He said he wanted to be football. I don't know if he should be the #1 pick. And you see what Ant is doing now. So realistically, could Peterson have a better career in the NBA? Possibly. I'm not saying he won't, but in college sometimes it's rare. Like it's rare to see a player that you think, oh, they're good now in the moment, and then sometimes a team might look at it like, dang, yo, like Peterson was on the board, we could have taken him, but we
The
went
only
with
Bro,
problem with
I'm
Boozer.
not.
Peterson
Like,
is
Yo, bro, I'm
availability.
not doing that. Yo,
That's the
Brooklyn
problem.
LM. I'm looking at it like I'm taking Boozer, Caleb Wilson, and AJ DeBoncha over Peters.
It comes
I am.
down to health and availability, what Breezy's saying. We already have worries with Egor. Now with Pierce, imagine both those guys are back when they're both hemmed by injuries. It would be so weak. Like both could be good scorers, but health and availability is something the Brooklyn Nets have struggled for 10 years to figure out. All of our top players have gone through bad injuries, and it kind of threw us like for a haywire. So yeah, like if you do the Peterson move, it kind of counteracts the Egor move and makes it obsolete. Whereas you could add a Dabasa who could play with a Egor. You add a Boozer who could take your front court to a different level. Caleb Wilson, arguably the best defender in this draft. Those three are a higher echelon for me than Peterson because Nolan has shown he could be a long-term part of this future. And yes, Peterson could be a co-pilot, but right now we have to think about what is going to build the best team. And it's not about need over talent. It's we got to have consistency as a team to be a good team in the Eastern Conference. And we don't do that right now. So we have to
you,
change the script this summer.
I don't know. Even all that being said, I think regardless, if Darren Peterson and Caleb is on the board and you're at 3 or 4, I can see a team going Peterson, regardless. Like I see. I'm not disputing the fact of potential risk, potential. That is a reassessment. I always had AJ DeBosto over Peterson. Realistically, that's been my guy, but I can see the aspect of where somebody say, "Oh, okay, Peterson might turn out to be the better guy." I don't know, but sometimes judging in the moment can be deadly because realistically, Peterson might have a healthy career in the NBA. We don't know. It's 50-50 with everything, especially the team that's choosing him. Me personally, I'd rather be the second or the third pick because I don't want to have that choice of being first and
I
then
agree.
seeing, oh, if Peterson is the clear number. I don't want to have to make that choice. Let another team take the risk with Peterson, and we can choose between AJ DeBonsta, Caleb Wilson, or Boozer,
Right.
and
But let me
leave
be
it at
devil's
that.
advocate, LM. Say you do have the #1 pick and people want Peterson. Would you consider trading down for the second pick to get the boss if a team that really wanted Darren Peterson? Would you consider doing that if we did get the #1 pick?
I would consider it.
Okay.
If a team is looking at Boozer second and
Ooh.
the Nets really want the Bonster, I'll
Mhm.
consider, hey, trade to the third spot, get the
Wow.
Bonster. You have Peterson. Whoever team is second, take Boozer, and then at 3, the Bonster, we got our guy. Or if we're eyeing Boozer, yeah. If we get the first pick, trade to 2, get Boozer, and then the first team that you trade would get Peterson. I can see it. I can see a avenue. The question is, will Sean Marks,
Right.
actually do it?
If I had #1 pick, I'd just take the balance of call tonight. But some people have told me that hey, if we have that type of power, we could double our asset value and still get the guy we want because this is a historical draft. And some teams might be willing to trade a Boozer DeBassa to a team who has the number 1 pick for Peterson, just because of what, like Scott and some people say, listen, he might be the best scoring talent in this draft, but health and availability has not been our strong suit the last few years. And I could just see a scenario where Peterson gets bitten by an injury bug, and that screws what we're trying to build. Whereas we get a Boozer, DeBassa, or Wilson, I have a much better feeling that our front court will be elevated to a level it needs to be if we want to compete. The East is not weak anymore. Look at all these other teams that made upgrades. Even bad teams like the Wizards have talent now. We need to have that talent next year if we want to even get to a playing spot. Right now, this roster ain't cutting it, so we got to get a top guy. Or hell, if we get the 5th pick, I will somehow trade what I have to trade to get Caleb Wilson at 4 if I have to. I don't care.
So the thing that DeBasta talked about doesn't affect any of y'all?
He's not going.
In terms of him, he's not staying.
He's not going to stay to college.
No, I'm just
this
saying.
gave me super Flag vibes. Like,
Oh, okay.
Flag
All
said he was staying last year. Like,
because last year, I ain't gonna lie to you. Last year, y'all people were saying Kneppel would fall to 6 or 7, and he moved to 4. And not only did he move to 4, he actually having a better year than the top 3.
Okay.
Well, Charlotte at 4. They really wanted Con.
He's literally having a better year than he went before Ace Bell.
To be fair though, I think Con with
and
Con,
Trey Johnson.
Charlotte really liked Con in terms of his
It worked. It works. It works. Yeah.
Yeah.
They really like Con though.
Listen, that NIL money got them talking different. He got AJ talking about, my parents Jamaican and Nigerian. They think school is more important, and they got that conversation because the NIL money allows them to have that conversation.
Yeah, so money is not a problem,
right? And again, that's what I mean. Like,
right?
And again, something like that is whatever he's going to school for his major. Yeah, I get.
Yeah, that's right. I honestly believe he might stay.
He's not. He's not. Listen, Egor Bassa is a successful young talent, and he makes music. Breeze, if we get the Bassa, him got to make a track together, man. That would be next level. Because that's what the Bassa does.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe I think he still gets drafted, but I do think that whatever teams I think the lottery will play a part. Like whatever team is top 4 or whoever they get the picks to. Guys may be considering, I don't want to land there. They might be trying to mess up they spot or whatever the case may be.
I don't know.
Like, but I feel like if Brooklyn is in that top 3 though, I think a lot of guys consider, hey, I can see myself in Brooklyn.
Flexibility. That's what these young guys are thinking about. So what Breeze said with the NIL money, they want to go to a team that knows that they know will pay them eventually. A team like the Kings, they could throw money out, but there's no long-term outlook. But at least with the Nets, we can make them big moves when we have to. It's just do the big moves ever work out for us? Probably not, but I think we have a shot with either the top 4, not only pay them well, but to allow them to develop and attract a potential star talent or solid vets that want to come and help this young guy meet a superstar potential. We have the money to offer. It's just we need the structure to offer at the same time.
Yeah, hold on. Two things I wanted to say. I'll breeze past this since we already finished talking about it. But I just wanted to show y'all what the Nets tried to do with Egor in the beginning and what they really got to do. It says the duration of plantar fasciitis can vary significantly, typically resolving in 4 to 6 weeks with proper treatment. I think that's what the Brooklyn Nets tried to do. They tried to play through it, give it 4 to 6 weeks, try to space it out in the days that he played, manage it, and so on and so forth. But it may last up to 18 months or longer if left untreated. So they trying to avoid 18 months. And again, like I said, they gave the Nets fans over 50 games with Egor Domin. I think it's time for him to just pack it up. You know what I'm saying? Put him in a situation where you don't put him in a long-term situation where he hurt from the same injury. Right? Give him a chance to heal for real.
I agree on this one.
Like, see, that's what I was saying before, John. It was from this. Where I pulled it up, I remember you was like, "Yeah, he was doing all of the doctors."
Well, now your medical drama makes sense because of the situation. But I am proud that Egor did break some records and show what he can do a bit. But you do wish he could have finished the season strong, though. I am disappointed in that, but I understand the reasons why now. Because if it's bothering him that badly, health over short-sightedness is always
Now,
important.
now I want to ask you something. If something comes along afterwards, saying you don't know exactly what's shaking, you don't know what's shaking until it's actually shaking. If you have an opportunity to get players that's better than Egor, that's just as young as him, that's more teachable and more skilled, are you going to still stick with Egor?
You know what's so interesting? You brought that up. I was on a space page. Yeah, I was on a space page the other night, and I never considered trading Egor in any scenario. But I had my own.
All right.
I had my own leaf epiphany. Let's say this person proposed a crazy deal with OKC. It would be Hartenstein and the Clippers 2026 first for Nick Claxton and Egor Dioman. And I'm like, would that deal ever be possible? But you think about it. Didn't OKC want Egor reportedly to join their team? And don't they want to potentially move Hartenstein to save money? And that is probably the only scenario where I would even consider moving Egor, because that Clippers pick for some reason could jump to a top 4 selection, because it's not out of the realm of possibility. So as much as I never thought about it, that is the one scenario where I might be tempted to trade Egor, not because he's a bad player, but health, long-term wise, and given the fact Nolan is kind of taking his job right now, if we could get a second lottery pick that is close to top 3 or 4, that might be the gamble you take at the expense of Egor. But in another scenario, I probably wouldn't even consider it. But that made me think a little bit.
Yeah,
I'd rather we get Ben Saraf off them.
Listen, but what I'm saying is taking his job is to me poor choice of words, because I don't think that Egor was comfortable with the point guard position duties.
Right, but that's what
like the whole idea. Hold on, dog. But listen. Part of the this is the part I don't want y'all to ignore. Of course, in the half court, Egor Doman is effective as a point guard. But before he gets to set up the offense, he got to bring the ball up. That's one of the point guard duties. And getting up court is a tough assignment for him. If you look how easily Nolan Traorè breaks down, they can't trap him. He never gets trapped in a full court trap. He never gets trapped in a half court trap. He always seems to get past that. And Egor
easily is a stretch. Easily is sort of a stretch. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think he
more than moderate.
He does it better than Egor, but I don't think he still got to work on. Nolan still got to work on his handles too, especially after tonight. Like you could tell, his handle is still wild. Like it's not exactly controlled as of yet. That's the point, and that is because he's a very fast guy. But he got to get to a point of playing at his own pace.
He got to learn to slow it down. He need to know when to down. Yeah, he need to learn when to go and okay, I'm gonna show you I got speed. So this way you respect it.
Right,
but you don't have to go like that all the time.
Right, but he has gotten better as a playmaker. To Breezy's point, Egor's only had 9 assists, I think, or even over 6 assists, maybe once or twice this season. No one's hit the 8 or 9 mark, maybe 3 to 4 times, or like in totality. So I the reason why I said he took his job is because we thought Egor was going to take that job as soon as he came here. But he said the day after he was drafted, I'm not a point guard. I'm a facilitator, wing specialist. And it's like, well, really? Then you got to show us versatility, multifacetility. And it's like we haven't seen it with Egor. But with Nolan, he got rid of the nervous bugs and said, hey, I'm going to play Nolan Traorè Le Blur.
The question is the question you ask is the question you ask is would you put the ball in Egor's hand to bring up in the fourth quarter with 10-20 seconds left, or Nolan? I would put it in Nolan's hand. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
I mean, are we talking about, because we are in the second half of the season. The season's almost over.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily know what Egor's going to look like in year 2.
I do
improved player.
I do know this though.
You say the same thing about Nolan though. You don't know what he gonna look like in year 2 too.
But I could say this: he's playing. He's playing right now though. Right. He's playing.
I don't think the injury, but I don't think Egor's injury is going to prevent him from improving though. Like,
it delays it. But it delays it. You can't make up time.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
I
Like
think
the conversation I was trying to have with y'all is the way the Nets want to play the game. Like they want to play the game where they run the offense through the point guard and they find that stretch four, and that's why Noah Clowney's so important to the offense. Like, and they're gonna definitely do that curl with MPJ, but they can't be redundant in that because you can't win with only one play in your playbook. But if you got the Nolan getting inside the 3-point line on a regular basis, he's not only going to be able to find the P&R, he's going to find guys on the elbow, find guys on the corner. If you need somebody else to do that, that's why AJ DeBonshire is important coming off the wing. But if you don't have that, you got to play inside out sometime, and you can find that in Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer. That's what I'm saying. Any three of those players, I'm picking over Peterson because I'm satisfied with what I'm getting from Nolan Traorè. If we would have missed totally on a point guard position because the Brooklyn Nets wanted to play through the point guard position, if we totally missed on that and everything was dependent on Egor Domain, then yes, get Peterson. But it's not only contingent on Egor Domain, and we've seen, and I think Nets fans finally agree on this as a fan base, we've seen them play better at the 2 guard position than the point guard position. You know what I'm saying?
He's
So
playing
so
better
wait,
from a
so
scoring perspective, but we don't know what his complete game is. Because if he's going to be a positionless guy, then you got to do 1, 2, 3, 4 interchangeably. And if he's just relying on his 2-guard abilities, I don't think that maximizes his full talent, like what Elam is trying to say. So he has to get strong this summer. That's the only thing Egor can control is getting more muscular, being more of an interior threat next year, and then maybe at the 2 he could stay there. But if he doesn't show any of that progression and continues this current regression, it's almost like a bust of a pick with Egor.
so let's see. So let's say we're the worst team in the NBA, but let's say that we end at 5. Cool. Darren Peterson is probably going to already be off the board. Caleb Wilson probably is going to be already off the board. Boozer, AJ DeBonster are gone. So at 5, if for me the best players that have been in that area have been Mikael Brown Jr., A. Cuff, Kingston Flemings. Most of these guys is guards.
And you
Is
gotta look at
for me at 5.
you gotta put King Waller in there. You gotta put King
I'm
Waller.
not thinking that we're not getting the top 3 pick. I think we get a top
I'm just
3.
saying that's cool, but you know,
possibility.
things can
It's a
happen. You gotta
possibility.
adjust. If you have Paul, you gotta adjust.
You gotta mention
That's the
King Waller.
backup
King
plan.
Waller
That's not the
at
primary.
bottom 6 too.
Nolan not stopping me from selecting Mikael Brown Jr. I'm sorry. I don't see it that way.
Together, though, Elam, how do you play a point guard with a point guard? This is the problem if we don't get top 4. Having another point guard on the team is so redundant. And I would have reached on a Nate Ament, but after the injury Breezy talked about, we still have an update if Nate Ament's injury could be threatening his tournament chances or his draft equity. So it's like Nate Ament would have been the guy I'm reaching at with the 5th to 6th pick because we need a wing. If not, I don't want another guard at this point. An A-cup,
I get it,
disgusting backcourt.
Brooklyn does not have the audacity to think about fit. That's the problem. We do not have the audacity to think about fit. You choose the best. If you're at 5, you choose the best player available and you go. You have to figure it out. It doesn't matter. We don't have. It doesn't.
I agree with LM.
Paid at the 1.
That's
not the point. No one not stopping me from choosing A Cuff or Kingston Flemings or Mikael.
It's best available for the Nets.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Why?
And Mikael Brown is the type of player where he's not necessarily just a 1. He plays like a 2 who can somewhat, if you put him at the 1, okay, he can do a little bit of that. Darren Peterson to me is a 2.
He is a 2.
Nobody from Nolan from doing what he got to do at the 1.
Yeah.
Hey, LM, what about King Waller? King Waller is a 6'6" guard.
I mean, if you want to get Keaton, cool. Put him at the 2.
6'6" is a good height for a guard.
Put him at the 2. If you think Wagler there, if you think that's a cool pick for our team, cool. Put him at the 2. He's stopping Nolan from being at the 1.
If we went 6, I'm taking King Waller. Like,
you can get Wagler at 5. If you want Wagler at 5, you can get him too. I
want Waller at 6. If we went 6, I don't want Keeks to Fleming.
But why y'all think these other teams supposed to get 1, 2, and 3 before us?
Breathe. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm saying it's a possibility. You have to consider all options. It's not a lock. On Mother's Day, if Brooklyn Nets is in the top 3, there's no need to discuss
Exactly.
Mikael Brown Jr. or none of those guys.
Exactly.
There's no need. But right now, you do have to consider that possibility.
No,
It
Yeah.
is a
but
fact.
I want to point this out because, like, let's say we land 5, right? The only guy I don't want is Keats and Fleming. I just feel like that's the bad backcourt for him and Nolan in the backcourt. That would be terrible. I
If that's
understand you
what
want to
Point
draft
Vince
best
guards.
says,
Of
players,
course,
but
it'll be
I don't think
terrible.
you're
It's
wrong
two
in that.
point guards. It don't
I just
work.
think it's two small
Don't work.
guards in the backcourt. Like
yeah,
it
and
won't
I
work.
and I
It's
don't want to
just
see that,
I
bro.
don't think that would be
And I like
valuable.
that.
But
I like the Akov kid's offense, but he's like Jalen Brunson on defense. Good offensively, but bad defense. So him and Nolan, that small backcourt would be atrocious. So if we do have to choose a point guard with the 5th through 7th pick, it's so disappointing because you're negating the Egor. This is why I go back to that draft night. If you would have done Common, Nolan, Powell, Hugo Gonzalez, and Danny Wolf, what a successful draft that is. I got a wing, I got a center, I got a point guard. I got another potential guard. It's like you would have had all the pieces, the building blocks, let's say, and we would have been a star away in this upcoming draft from having a damn team. But what did we do? We drafted 4 to 5 guards. So you tell me we have to draft a 5th guard next summer? Come on. We were going to be so backed up in the toilet with that move.
That's what happened
it's
if you
nasty
pick
work.
5th or
But I
6th.
mean,
But
It'd be nasty work, all
I
right.
hate to tell you,
it'd be nasty work. But again, like
you got to
you
pick the
don't have
best
the
talent.
luxury.
We
Yes, you have
tell
to
you
make the best
Surratt
available
over
player.
Hugo Gonzalez. Let that set in for a minute. A guy's playing playoff minutes versus a guy who's the G League king.
That's what happened when he went overseas.
I mean, LM, I want to ask you this. Though. I
Horrible.
want to ask
He
you this
shouldn't
one
have
question.
went.
If you
Yeah.
think so whoever we draft at 6 or 7, right? So let's say hypothetically you get King Wilder. Is King Wilder the franchise guy?
No, come on.
Nah,
Come on.
I don't think so. If we 6, I'll take a risk on Nathan Mint.
But the
I
thing
would
is, it's
say
the
6.
injury, bro. That's the thing.
Well, we don't know what it is yet. They have not put out a timeline if this guy is a career-threatening injury or anything like that. So we got to hope it's just a sprain and he'll be back. But somebody just put in the comment section, we have the 5th or 6th pick. Would you trade down for Nate Amont and extra assets? I might consider that because getting another point guard feels ludicrous. So if I could trade down to get Nate and get extra assets in a worst-case scenario, that's the only way I see us winning with the 5th to 7th pick. That's the only way I can see us winning.
Nathan Mint would it be? I'll take a risk, especially on Nathan Mint, a guy that
Right.
can score from all areas. Can handle the ball.
Right.
Physically, he looks like he's growing into his grown man body. It might be a project, but barring everything turns out, he could be a really solid, possibly all-star player in a few years. I don't think that would be wrong to
Yeah, he got
take
all
a
star
chance on
potential for
Nate.
sure.
I definitely think he has an
Right.
all-star potential. So I'll like a Nate Mint here if all things else. But
If we could trade down to get Nate and extra like assets, I would definitely do that deal because I'd rather get more than just the player itself if we're in that scenario. So
So
we have
John, you want
options
draft
at
him
that
at
point
6?
to consider. Wait, who?
You want draft him at 6?
Well, if we
Or
have the 5th and 6th pick, everybody expects Flemings or Brown, but let's say a team wants either of those two guys. Let's say the guy has a Native Man at 7 or 8 and they want to trade up for him. We could get Native Men and maybe 2 extra picks, let's say, to add to our
Mhm.
stash to eventually get that star player we want to get. You get more than what you're just getting in the player because we're worried if Native Man has a real injury or not. So I would try to extract more value at that point if I have to trade down, which honestly might be Sean's best move if he gets the 5th to 6th pick again. So it's like we got to make the most out of the opportunity. Drafting another point guard straight up would be a horrible way of using that pick because this is a historic draft, but let's not make a historic mistake getting another point guard that we probably don't need.
if you listen. For me, I think in terms of skill set, the only thing that matters is getting the best player. If let's say somebody take a risk on Nathan Mint at 5, I don't know. Teams is unpredictable. If Mikael
Mhm.
Brown Jr. is there, him being 6'6", the taller guard has potential. An athletic guy can score from all 3 areas. Really good playmaker. I'll take a risk on that. I just don't think necessarily the only problem I think would be, so I guess this is the John's point, making the mistake last year of getting 3 guards.
Right.
This is something that you have to account for. Now, if you do say get a Mikael Brown Jr., uh, I think him, Nolan, and Egor can coexist. I think the only thing is, where does that leave MPJ? I mean, you
Right.
probably gonna want to
Nah,
put him
you
at the
try
4,
to trade
but
MPJ after that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You try to trade
to
for your pick at that
who?
point. You got to try to trade for your pick, man. At
I
that
mean,
point,
to who though? Like,
Trade him for
I'm talking about
Zion.
you. I say
I
at least
mean,
to
well,
see.
if we get another point guard, gotta get a wing of some sort. I'll just trade MPJ for Zion straight up. Cut my losses. Like we'll need somebody in the front court if we get another
Oh,
guard.
hold on, yeah. I
MPJ for
wanna
Zion?
hold on, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Help me
Yeah,
recap
good
this.
Zion, but I
Hold
don't
on, yeah.
think that's enough.
Yeah, help me recap this content. You talk about why Kenny Atkinson and that's part of ways during the Kyrie era. I just wanted to hear from a player perspective, and then I want to recap it with y'all. Hold on.
My second year.
Y'all
Okay.
can hear it?
Yeah,
Oh, but I'll put it in picture. Amen.
Kenny Atkinson is my coach. Heard you. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, DeAndre Jordan, all these guys just get there. We on the path has changed. We in championship or bust mode at this point because you got fucking bona fide guys. Heard you. And it shifted so quickly, it took everybody a minute to get themselves together. Because like at first, we had D'Angelo Russell, fucking Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and we were just in figuring it out. We just made the playoffs. We played Philly, blah, blah, blah. Everyone was fucking with, shout out to Lala Storytime. Everybody was like, yo, Brooklyn's on the way, blah, blah, blah. And then these guys come. I will never forget, bro. We played in Miami. I think we played the game. And we had practice in Miami before we got on the plane. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know. And I fuck with Kenny Atkinson. That is my guy. He gave me opportunity. I fuck with him. But I don't know what the fuck happened, but Kenny was on one that day. Heard you. This motherfucker was going off. He's like we was trying to run all types of shit. Like, y'all know what pistol is. Pistol is a pistol action. You come down court, guy sets a ball like a flat screen on the sideline just to get the switch or whatever. People do it all the time in the playoffs just to get the matchups. And pretty much KD and them, they weren't really rocking with all that. Like, hey, look, just give me the fucking ball and all this shit. And they weren't really running it. Bro, next thing you know,
Oh shit! I clicked it off by mistake. But man,
I think
he flipped. Kenny Atkinson flipped on KD and Kyrie because they ain't run the offense.
I think yeah.
I mean, there's the same people that Kyrie was like, we our own coach. Like we don't
Yeah.
Oh, and he
necessarily
wasn't.
need that.
Kyrie don't say things and not mean what he said.
Yep. Kyrie literally
No, it's not really surprising.
Kyrie said everything he said. He meant what he said, and that's what it was. Or else he won't say it.
Right, and Breeze, you're asking for the dichotomy between Kenny Atkinson and Jordy. It's quite simple. Kenny Atkinson believed in process. Was he the most easy person to deal with? Hell no. We saw how many times this guy had the sign out saying, shoot threes, do this, do that, and something like, this is tough to get with. But you know what? This guy's honest with us. He knows where we want to be, where we want to get to, but we all have to fight for each other. With Jordy, everything I've heard from him is win, result. Where's the process? Where is everybody getting better at their job? I see this guy relying on MPJ in March.
Well,
it's a damn basketball game.
But John,
like,
it's not gonna
Kenny Atkinson style.
But it's not. But John, it's not gonna materialize in wins.
Yeah, but still, you're putting the vets like Mann, Claxton.
But that's the whole purpose of that's the whole purpose of being 15.
Yeah, but would Kenny Atkinson be doing this right now? Would he be saying, MPJ, I need 40 minutes out of you? Because that's what his new mantra is right now.
Kenny said, you know what Kenny said? Kenny said eventually it will come through. Eventually it does. Yeah, eventually it does.
Hold on, I'll pull up the content again. Let's finish saying what he was saying.
Fucking was going off. He's like we was trying to run all types of shit. Like, y'all know what pistol is. Pistol is a pistol action. You come down court, guy sets a ball like a flat screen on the sideline just to get the switch or whatever. People do it all the time in the playoffs just to get the matchups. And pretty much KD and them, they weren't really rocking with all that. Like, hey, look, just give me the fucking ball and all this shit. And they weren't really running it. Bro, next thing you know, he flips the fuck out. He's like, run the shit. I'm the fucking coach. Run the shit. And everybody's like, oh shit. Ain't never seen it before. And you yelling at superstars now.
Mm-hmm.
He was gone.
My question is,
one game. You got an altercation in the fucking in the huddle. The next morning, he was gone. He got fired. That's when I was like,
crazy.
oh.
Yeah.
NBA Players League.
One phone call.
This is the first time I heard that story. And again, I'm not mad at the superstars having power, but to ignore what Kenny did and make it seem like the KD and Kyrie wasn't attracted to the Nets because of the player development that he did with Spencer, Karras, Jared Allen, and Joe Harris didn't attract them to want to be there. Like, it's one thing to want to add to that. They wanted to come minus Jared Allen, put DeAndre Jordan. It was wrong for that. I just think that the Sean Mark should have kind of stood on his square. So no, I'm not firing Kenny Atkinson because you had an argument with him. Like, respect him as a head coach. You know what I mean?
You know, it's crazy. I actually thought Sean Marks was doing the right thing when he had Kenny in this system he was building. Because you know what? We were doing it the Brooklyn way. He had a sign outside his door, no shortcuts. As soon as you saw Katie Kyrie, the money signs came up. It's like, oh my gosh, these are 2-3 championships right here. And it didn't happen because Katie and Kyrie wants to control the whole damn thing. Kyrie literally wouldn't allow players onto the court, so he burned sage throughout the whole environment to ward off evil spirits. So it's like these guys were running the damn ship, but Sean and Joe were saying nothing about it. Kenny was the only one who had a pair on him to say, hey, you guys may be stars, but there's a respect that needs to be out here. I'm the coach. You're my QBs. You got to do the plays. And they said,
but that was I blame Sean for that. I blame Sean for that. Sean should have sat Kenny and the rest of the Hall of Famers and sat them down and said, look, what y'all want to do and how you want to do it. Right. You know? That's what it should have been done. And, and should have explained to Kyrie and them, Kenny going to be here. He said he understand because truly speaking, I understand a coach is a coach and respect is due. You're supposed to respect them because sometimes he can tell you what you're doing wrong, but the players do play. I don't pay to see the coach.
Yeah, but the pivot was horrible. You get
I'm just saying. I'm saying the show is on the court. The show is on the court.
Right, but I wish you would have given.
I don't care how you twist it. You can say I paid for it or whatever. You're making money. The show is on the court, though.
Yeah, but
at all times. I understand the coach is very important. I do understand that, but that's on Sean to clear that up. When he didn't say. He just like, okay, come on, guys, and let them do whatever they wanted to do. I don't know.
Let's see if Jordy Fernandez, just him speaking on tonight's game, we'll recap what he said. We probably won't listen to the whole thing, but I just want to see the improvements that he's talking about. He said, despite the loss, he's seen improvements. So let's see.
You said you wanted to see your team come out here and look different. Just what did you see from your team tonight?
Yeah, way better fight, and I think today we got better. Right, obviously not what we won with coming out with a loss, but a lot of good things. And starting with the first group, the way they competed, and that's what I like to see. And when we put two groups together, then good things are going to happen. And I think we're taking those right steps.
You knew this team was going to be physical defensively. You guys were able to keep it close, even with the turnovers, especially there in the first quarter. But just how did some things change in that second half?
Yeah, I think that some of the second chance,
So basically, I guess he addressed what he was going to say about the first half because in the second half it looked like he got bad. But yeah, man, that's why I wanted y'all to pull up because I just seen the box score, and from what I can see, Nolan Traorè need to take more shots. You need to take more 3-pointers when they sag off. You only averaging 2 3-pointers a game. Like, come on. Jordy Fernandez could give him 5 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? It won't hurt at all, especially with a Diego Doman being sidelined to manage, his foot and, be attentive to that. Diego Doman, it has to, I mean, Nolan Traorè got to pick up some of the offensive slack behind the 3-point line. Even if he's not knocking it down, he still has to take attempts. He was 4 for 9. He took 2 3-pointers. So 7 of his shots is him getting to the paint. So.
Shooting threes is just not these rookies' game, especially Nolan. It's speed, it's interior play, but he needs to develop interior play. I think Nolan has the right idea. He did show us a mid-range game 2 games ago, but it's like doing consistent. That's what I think Jordy's problem is. He doesn't ask these guys to do it consistently. Like they have their spurts, but it's like, where's the progression? It's like, oh no, let's put MPJ Clax back into the equation. MPJ and Clax might be one of the worst duos I've seen in 10 years in Brooklyn because their skill sets aren't complementary. There's one guy feeds the guy the other shots, the other guy takes erratic shots, but you never see the rookies be the lead voices in this. Like, I agree with you, Breeze. Nolan should be the lead voice, where Jordy says, Nolan, you're the captain tonight. You're running the plays. You know the plays I want you to run. Clax, MPJ, you got to be supporting characters. I know it's a lot to ask because you're the vets, but we're trying to push the rookies forward. Nothing like that. It's like, I got to defer to MPJ. I got to defer to Claxton. It's like, we run no pick and rolls with Nick Claxton. Why should Nick Claxton be more of a priority than our rookies? Well, he doesn't even do his job anymore as a center. So I feel like for Jordy, he's given the vets too much slack, but he hasn't given the rookies enough attention. Like, Nolan's probably the only guy that's developed. Wolves probably developed the second most, but Egor had a bit of momentum, lost it. Now he might be injured. We hope he's okay. Drake Powell, him and Jordy just have some type of bad relationship energy. Hope that gets fixed. And Saraf, Jordy keeps trying to put Saraf on this mountaintop, but we've seen the same game since Summer League. Nothing's gotten better, but Jordy won't call him out and say, oh, I just need to be a better defender. No, say Saraf is not doing enough offensively. Say he's got to step his game over. Send him back for Drake Powell. It's like none of our rookies together have really developed. They only played once, I think, all of our rookies together in 82 games. I would be nice to see that 5 or 10 times. I feel like for Jordy, he's not used to losing. There's a whole new environment, and I thought he had the mental fortitude to handle it, but based on his body language, nearly trying to not slam his head against the table, I think Jordy has a thing or two to learn, not only about being a good coach, but being a professional when it comes to adapting to the environment you're in. And I feel like these rookies have gotten more of the bitter end of this than Jordy has, in all fairness.
No, I ain't mad at that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the end of the day, they doing right by Egor. Yeah, you got to solidify point guard and Nolan. The wing or the inside help is important. They seem like everything on course. It seemed like they on pace for getting a top pick this year,
Yeah,
and I'm cool with that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. You know what I'm saying? I had some more content I wanted to react to. I heard Jordy Fernandez. He said he reacted to Cam Thomas saying what he said. He was just being professional. You know what I mean? He ain't try to shit on Cam Thomas. He just, was being professional about it. So I just thought Jordy Fernandez, he had class in the situation. You know what I mean? He could have said something else and made it, bad. But I thought he took the professional route.
yeah, they were looking for him to say something.
Yeah.
You know how the media is here, boy. I ain't gonna lie. And I don't even understand why you even asked him that question. He's not on the team.
Exactly. People got.
He's not even on the team. You asked him a question. I don't even know why the reporters in Milwaukee asked him a question about the Nets. For what? You're not on that team no more.
They're so bored and they're using Cam.
They just looking for trouble all the time, man. All
Do you know what
the
Eric
time.
Slater did? He basically pointed out a stat line where Cam Thomas might be the worst defender in the NBA, but it's like, who cares? Who cares,
yeah.
Eric? We were talking about how bad he was. He's off the team. Listen,
Right.
what Cam Thomas did, throwing the dagger at Sean Marks, guess what? It's not all wrong what he said at the end of the day. Name me any prospects we invested in are still here in Brooklyn. There you go. So Cam Thomas may not be a great player, but guess what? This organization has not been good in developing the talent like they said was their priority when they took over the team 10 years ago. So yeah, Cam Thomas might be a bad player, but is this organization much worse than him? Or not much worse than him?
I just know that it's not relevant. So I don't even. It's not even relevant no more. But that being said,
Hey John, I looked it up when I came up here. I think Nate Ahmed he should be coming back soon. I don't think
Thank
it's
goodness. So he might have avoided where. So again, at the end of the day, if I have to reach a 5-7, Nate Ahmed is the next best wing after Caleb Wilson. If we could trade down for Caleb Wilson and get extra assets, that's a way to win a worst case scenario. Because
John, let me ask you
1-4 is the only scenario we should be aiming for.
So you think Nate Ahmed a franchise guy?
I can't say that, but I think he has the fundamental abilities we need: scoring, playmaking, defense. If he could get much stronger, you have something there. Like, let's say what Jalen Johnson is to the Hawks. Imagine finding that in an Nate Ahmed. I don't think too many people would be upset. They would be disappointed. But you tell me, what do we need? We need front court type star ability, not backcourt right now. We have so many guards. If we get another guard in this draft, it is really going to kill the reason why we drafted Egor in the first place. It would be a disaster, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, but the whole thing is why would you get? Well, I kind of understand why you got Nolan, but Saraf, I mean, what was that about?
It was a horrible, disgusting move. It was a horrible.
What was that about? What are you saying? It's like you drafted somebody and you're not sure.
Scott, if we drafted Common and Hugo with Powell, Wolf, and Nolan, would you feel we won the draft majorly? Would you feel like we're okay, but we're not great? Where would you
be? I know that you try to fill holes. That's what I'm saying. You need you need a wing.
Need a center.
You need a center. You need a bona fide center at that.
Yeah,
I mean, there was things you need.
Imagine this: Common center, Drake Powell scoring guard, Nolan point guard, Hugo Gonzalez almost like another wing forward that we could utilize. Like, you would have had your building block pieces, but we got 4 out of 5 guards, and Wolf plays like a big guard. So you really got 5 guards.
You really technically got 5 guards.
There was no logic. It was let's shoot darts at playmakers because we can have MPJ to have a superstar season. That was a rationale right there, and it made 0 sense.
I don't know, man. He spent a lot of time overseas in the off season. I think he should have stayed in the United States. He should have stayed here.
Only 20 more games.
That's
my
opinion.
Guys. Only 20 more games.
20 more. Only 20 more. But yo, again, like I said, man, I really do like the player development, Nolan Traorè, and I gotta give Sean Marks that credit because I do like him. He's my favorite player right now. And I don't know what we're gonna get out of Drake Powell, but I just said all I have to say. I won't ignore Wolf neither. Wolf, you gotta play him the right way though. You gotta give him the sufficient minutes. I mean, he had 2 good games. Just kind of like watch film on that. You know what I'm saying? He was the center, he was the point center, and he's good at it. Like, dude, find a way to run the offense with Wolf and Nolan Traorè. I don't want it to be 100% through Nolan Traorè. If you could put Wolf in 20% of that offense where he running some of the offense because he's good at it. You just don't want to run the offense through, Danny Wolf the whole game. But yeah, I would run it, and I said that to say that's how you could decrease the shot attempts for MPJ. Because he's the one doing the most right now. 24 shots is a lot. I'm saying,
he should just be
ridiculous. Either you giving him them shots so you could trade him
tonight in March. Like, this is crazy.
Now let you building them up to trade.
We did the same thing with Johnson last year. He had a great first half. And you see MPJ's numbers the second half? I saw them briefly. His 3-point percentage dropped from like 38% to like 22%. Like, we are killing the man's value. Like, this organization doesn't make any sense. If you're going to trade the guy, rest him now. Save yourself from doing another Cam Johnson for MPJ swap with another bad contract. Because I know people aren't going to be happy if that's what we do ultimately.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, Scott, throw your link in the chat. Shout out
Yeah.
to CJ. He the first one to put us on time. Nice Nolan Traorè was. Shout out to everything Broken Nets Java, all of the innovative content, Paulo Bancharo, a bunch of stuff. We're going to start the show with that next episode. We're going to get into, all the possibilities. Y'all have heard him we spoke on Bam, up here in Paulo. We're going to get into a lot of these different conversations, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. But I'm going to close out now because I gotta be up early, but I wanted to say thank y'all to the chat, thank you to the members, thank you to everybody that joined the panel. Shout out to all the Nets fans. We the best fans. We're gonna be back with more content really soon. Later, y'all. Peace.